Welcome back. Let's talk about Puyallup, Washington, because there's 45,000 people that live there, and it could be important to them, and it can be important to you as well. So thank you very much for joining me, and let's just jump in. So if you're new to my channel, what I like to do is I cover a lot of areas outside of the Seattle city limits because Seattle's just such a large market for home sales inside of Washington. And at the same time, there's just so much media attention and no one talks about the local markets. And I try to give you an idea of what's actually going on. So in Puyallup, Washington, it's to the south of the Space Needle by about an hour and 10 minutes on a bad day. On a good day, it's about 45 minutes. It's also south of the SeaTac Airport, and it's to the southwest of Tacoma, Washington, which is our fourth largest city inside of Washington. Puyallup, Washington is also one of the hardest to pronounce because a lot of our cities around here in our areas and our rivers are named after tribes, and this is actually the Puyallup tribe. Just so you have an idea. And this is also one of the reasons why it's so funny when people move into the area, they just can't pronounce these. But yeah, this is Puyallup, Washington, and Puyallup is spelled with two L's. So let's just jump into the actual numbers of it because, like I said, there's 45,000 people that live there, and there's about 18,000 household units inside of Puyallup. So that's about two persons inside of those houses, just so you have a general idea on average. The median household income is $81,000, and as well as that, our bachelor degree, there's only about 26% of the people inside of Puyallup have bachelor degrees. So this is actually one of the areas that a lot of people commute in from. They go over to Tacoma, or they go over to Olympia, or they work outside of the McCord Air Force Base in this area. So just so you have a general clue of what's going on, this is where everyone lives and works. But let's get into the actual sales data, because you might come to me and just say, hey, Victor, I want to buy a house inside of Puyallup, Washington. And this is actually the reason why I'm doing this video today, is because I have a couple of people that are asking me about Puyallup. I'd be like, hey, that's great. Let's talk about the average house out there. So the average house right now inside of Puyallup is $660,000, 70 days on market, 3.5 bedrooms, 2.5 bath, and about 2,300 square feet. And on top of that, our price per square foot comes out to $301 a square foot. Now you might want to say to me, hey, Victor, what's that actually mean? And let's just jump into it. So I do all this data and I want to get into it for you. But I compared November's home sales to the previous 3 years. So I have November 2020 through November 2023. And I wanted to break it down for you of actually what I'm seeing in this market right now. So inside of November 2023, we had 302 homes. In November of 2020, mind you, we had 302 homes that were actually sold inside of Puyallup. And this is actually one of the areas that really benefited from people moving around because of COVID and such. Now, the average price of the house when you bought it at that time was $481,000. Now, if you waited just 1 year, it would be worth about $90,000 more, and it would be $576,000. This is about a 20% increase, but at the same time, there was 23% less homes sold the following year. There was only 233 homes sold versus the 302. Now, this last year in 2022, we had only 197 homes sold. So it's going down a little bit each year. And on top of that, if you actually bought that house, it stayed roughly with the same amount of your value, and it was $570,000, and I just averaged that for you. Now, the big change is this last November. There was only 78 homes that sold inside of Puyallup, Washington in the last 30 days, because today is December 1st. Of the 78 homes that sold, our average price came out to $578,000. So it went up just barely $10,000. But on top of that, we've lost 60,000. We lost 60% of the homes that were sold from the previous year. Now, I brought up this stat specifically because I keep on getting asked, well, what about the year before? Or it's not anything like the year before. Well, I just did the math on this. It was 302, it was 233, then it was 197, and now it's 78. So it's going down. I don't know exactly why, but this might be a buyer opportunity for you. And if you're a seller, this might be something that you want to take heed to. Because one of the things that I actually look at on this is also our rent to own ratio in this area. The average home size, like I said, when I actually compared this over the last 4 years, came out to 2,100 square feet roughly. And when I put it into the rental, we only get $1.48 on average for our rent per square foot per month. So that comes out to, if you rent out a single family home, about $3,100 a month. Now, this is where the rub is. It's $4,000 a month to actually buy. So it's 28% more to buy than it is to rent. And at the same time, people can't afford this house. Because if you take the average household income in this area, which is $81,000, and you put just a $30,000 down payment in here, you can only qualify for $260,000 worth of house. When the average house is, again, the average house right now on market available for purchase is $657,000. So this is the rub. This is where we're running into an issue with the buyers and sellers, and we're going to continue to see this right now. I'm hearing a lot of people talk about the interest rates going down the last month. In the last 2 weeks, interest rates have gone down. Now, I just did the math on this. It's gone down 0.5%. Okay? What that means, the 50 basis points, 0.5%, that's about $160 a month. So when you're looking at not being able to afford the house, is it going to be better to wait, rent, sell, or rent out? These are the questions that you have to answer. And that's why you ask a real estate agent out there. So I'd be happy to help you with this kind of stuff. Let me leave you with a couple of things. But I wanted to actually introduce you to my website, victorashley.com. You can use this to, just get an idea of your neighborhood if you don't follow one of my videos on here. Or you can also use it to get an automated evaluation of your house, and you can get in contact with me, or you could just read my bio and see, who is this guy talking to you on YouTube. Also, you could just get a hold of me by the number on your screen and in the description below. As always, it was a pleasure working with you today, and I hope you have a fantastic day.